Hey guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com. Another quick weekly news recap of all major MMO news and announcements the week ending December 3rd, 2018. This is episode number 176 of the recap, and the first of news this week comes from Nexon regarding MapleStory 2. The game revealed that its latest expansion, the Skybound expansion, will be launching on December 6th, which is this Thursday, and with it comes the brand new Soulbinder class, the first new class to be introduced to the Western version of MapleStory 2. And besides the new class, the Skybound expansion also introduces a new PvP arena called the Maple Arena, the new Skyforge, along with relevant story quests for players at level 50, as well as a ton of in-game events. MapleStory 2 currently averages 11,500 or so players online at a given time on Steam alone, so while the numbers are down since launch, it's still quite impressive. Anyway, the expansion is launching on the 6th. Next up, we have a big update for Twin Saga, the anime fantasy MMORPG from X-Legend. The game's latest update launched this week, added 5 new dungeons, 6 new quests, a new PvP battlefield, and a bunch of in-game events. If you've never played Twin Saga before, it's similar to Grand Fantasia and Aura Kingdom to a degree, but the maps are a lot smaller. I actually played this one, and the thing that stands out most to me is the game's ridiculous story. It's one of the few MMOs out there where I actually stopped and read the story, and I had a lot of fun with it, so I might be tempted to download it again now that the update is out. Up next, we have another big update. This time it's for Skyforge, and they're launching their own expansion titled Distant Frequencies on December 11th, and with it comes a brand new class, the Soundweaver, and as you probably guessed, the Soundweaver is a bard-like support class. Besides the new class, Distant Frequencies will introduce a bunch of new story-driven missions, so expect new zones, dungeons, equipment, and more. A new class in Skyforge is nice because, like Final Fantasy XIV, a single character in Skyforge, I can play all classes in the game, so anyone can try out the new Soundweaver class once it launches. The PC version of Skyforge is getting this update on December 11th, the PS4 is getting it on December 12th, and Xbox One is getting it on the 13th, so it's pretty incredible how quickly they're rolling this out across all platforms. Games like Neverwinter and Warframe are actually a month or so behind usually with their console versions, so props to MMOs.com, at least on this front. Next up, another MMORPG is launching a new class. This time it's Bless Online from NeoWiz Games. In a producer letter released last week, NeoWiz announced that Bless will be getting the Mystic class sometime in the first half of 2019. And besides the Paladin, the Mystic will be the only other class in the game with healing abilities, but unlike the Paladin, the Mystic will be a more dedicated healer. Keep in mind though, the Mystic class isn't exactly new, as anyone who played the Russian version of Bless had access to the Mystic class over a year ago, but it is new to the English version. Despite Bless getting a big bump in players since going free to play, it continues to bleed players. The week it went free to play in late October, it was peaking at 4,900 or so players online at any given time, and now it's peaking at only 1750. It's lost more than half its players since going free to play, and I suspect it'll keep losing players as the game runs like absolute garbage. They have serious optimization problems. Up next, another MMORPG with a new class. The anime action MMORPG Closers from Inmass is releasing Luna on December 11th, and she's a shield maiden and a member of the Wild Hunter. She's a tanky frontline specialist with a giant shield. You can actually see some of her abilities in the video in the background. While Closers launched with so few classes last year, it's done a good job bridging the gap between the Korean and English versions. They've added like 8 characters in the last year or so, which is pretty impressive. And to celebrate Luna's launch, there'll be a ton of in-game events going on as well. If you haven't heard of this one, it's yet another instance dungeon precision hub style MMORPG similar to Soulworker, Vindictus, and Dragon Nest. Player base wise, it's doing decent and averages about 550 or so players online at a given time on Steam. Next up, we have yet another new class in an MMORPG. Mabinogi Heroes, which is the Korean version of Vindictus, revealed Mule, the game's latest character. She dual wields pistols and can also use magic, and as you can see her in action in the video in the background. She'll be releasing in the Korean version of the game sometime this winter, but we don't have any kind of release date yet for a Western release. Hopefully they don't take too long. I don't know about you, but I like what I see so far with Mule, as we got side boob and under boob action and nice booty. I definitely approve. Up next, Revelation Online released its latest update this last week titled Mythical Conflict, which adds a new standalone 5v5 PvP MOBA mode to the game titled Legends of Nuanor. Yes, Revelation Online is jumping into the MOBA bandwagon though a little bit late. So while they're building it as a standalone game mode, it's still within Revelation Online, you just have to queue for it, but it's billed as standalone because it's kind of a separate game mode where you don't actually play your character in Revelation Online, you just play as one of the other characters in the game. So it's basically got nothing to do with your in-game character. Expect a League of Legends or Dota 2 like traditional MOBA experience with this. The funniest part about this game mode is that My.com described the update as it allows you to park your veteran characters for a while and enjoy the carefree pleasures of a MOBA style gameplay. I doubt these guys ever played a MOBA because there's nothing carefree about a MOBA. They're the most stressful and rage-inducing games out there. I did like that description though, carefree. Next up, Valve finally launched Artifact this last week, and it's the first new Valve game in a long time. It's a trading card game that's available for $19.99, but new packs will cost money, and the game doesn't give away any cards for free. You can trade and buy cards individually on the Steam Marketplace, though. The game is currently averaging a bit over 30,000 players online at a given time, which is definitely not bad, but a bit disappointing that for a Valve game. There's definitely some hype behind this one, though, as it was designed by Richard Garfield, the guy who made Magic the Gathering. If you want to give it a try, though, it is available on Steam for $19.99. I don't think it'll beat Hearthstone, though, mainly because the business model kind of sucks for Artifact. If they're going to charge money up front, they might as well be generous with cards, but they aren't, so it's very stingy up front, and you can't get cards for free in-game either. I'm right along on the mobile front. Kakao Games secured global publishing rights for Tera Frontier, a new mobile MMORPG based on the PC MMORPG Tera from Bluehole. It's worth mentioning that Bluehole themselves won't be developing Tera Frontier directly. Instead, a separate South Korean gaming studio named Red Sahara Studios will be working on this one. But they were actually acquired by Bluehole earlier this year. But the point I'm trying to make is that the team that worked on Tera on the PC will not be working on this game. Instead, it'll be a separate studio. No word on an English release date for this one just yet, but we do know it'll be aiming for a South Korean release sometime in 2019. In fact, we have no gameplay videos or even screenshots to show you, so instead you're seeing a video from Tera M, Netmarble's own Tera MMORPG. Tera Frontiers does aim to differentiate itself from other mobile MMORPGs with scale and ambition. It's an Unreal Engine 4 powered game, and it promises to deliver a massive world similar to its PC counterpart. If they can deliver a Tera-like experience on mobile without watering it down, I think it'll do well. Otherwise, I'm not so sure. Next up, in slightly more hype mobile MMO news, Ragnarok M Eternal Love began global pre-registrations for the English version of the game last week. While there's been a half a dozen or so mobile Ragnarok Online games, this version has been a smash hit overseas and has been built as a true Ragnarok Online experience on mobile. And if I remember correctly, the Chinese studio that actually made this game was made by people that actually loved the original PC version of the game, so I am optimistic about this one. As a longtime Ragnarok Online player, I would love to see a good Ragnarok Online game on mobile. No word on an exact release date, but I think it's going to be coming out in the next few months or so because they're already open to global pre-registrations and it's already been out in Asia for some time. Next and last bit of news this week comes from Busty Mobile CCG Destiny Child, which will be launching sometime this month in December in English. The game has been out for over a year already in Asia, mostly in South Korea, and is finally making its way to the West through its global publisher, Line Games. If I remember correctly, the Korean version of this game was super busty and lewd, and I like that a lot. I expect they'll be censoring some bits of the game here for an English release, which is definitely not good, but it's not a deal breaker. While Line Games refer to this as a CCG, it's much more like a traditional turn-based hero collector gacha RPG, if I remember correctly. Oh, and if you recognize the game's art style, it probably looks a lot similar to Blade and Soul. That's because the art director for Destiny Child was the same art director behind Blade and Soul. Anyway, guys, that's it for MMO news this week. I'm not sure if I'll be doing the podcast tomorrow, as I'll be coming back from Vancouver that same day, so I may not be up for it. By the way, I'll see you guys next week and back to normal schedule then. Anyway, guys, later.